So it's the first warm day of spring in Vermont, and I'm going to go on a sap boil. All of my scrap wood gets used for making maple syrup every year. Well,
yeah, they were pretty much amazing. Because I did have a crown.
Hear the clink of,
I think. Yes.
you have to sign a contract if you don't want to be on video.
I'm good with that.
you know, and when you're eating a half, you don't feel like you're really
Fine,
indulging.
really fine.
Just a half.
You're gonna sign a contract if you don't want to be on video.
Oh, he has a GoPro.
Ooh.
Stuck it on the hood of my car on the way over here.
Really? Is it a magnet?
I'm assuming.
What do you think?
Yeah. Mitch. What else?
Oh, you could put some gum on there or something.
You want to film the glazed donut?
The perfection of maple
Do you want to
glaze.
You want to film it going in my mouth?
Actually, YouTube will flag that and they'll take it out.
So this is
The
sap.
dooryard.
This is your sap out of the tree.
Yeah. This is like the real raw stuff up here. You drip into it.
Okay. It's very clear.
Yeah. And
That's the sap.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this is still got a
Yeah.
little bit of
Yeah. Oh, it's like water. They're gathering it. They're going to be coming down right now.
So it drains into here, and this is the less, like the freshest sap. And there's little cutouts
There are little cutouts. Yes.
in each channel, and there's one in back there. So what it's supposed to do is kind of work down and zigzag down. This is going to be the stuff that's more done.
Yeah. I mean, you'll see that.
And is that by gravity?
that
Is it just
different?
slanted?
Yeah, I think it's by like
Yeah.
density actually of the.
So there's that.
Is it okay?
And
Osmosis.
yeah, and it's a little bit darker. And
that's
then
usually the
this
darkest.
is usually
And it may look dirty,
the darkest.
but
It's
it all
yeah.
gets filtered.
It gets filtered multiple times. Yeah.
before. And the finished product, we have a bottle in there that's finished.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
you'll
what the
see
real,
it when
what
they
the, like
cut,
the big
they're
producers
just coming
do,
back from the
they're
trees,
drawing
yeah.
it off like as it all is going. But we can't boil it as fast as they do.
When it's not so springy.
A lot of new guys have like
Huddled
oil
around
burners
here
or
and-
propane burners.
No, this seems like a
Prepared.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it takes a lot longer, but
Deep in the
we're
garage.
burning whatever this hardwood is. I don't know what it is.
Well, this is all my stuff still.
This stuff is, yeah, but all this stuff
it
we've
goes
been
in.
using too.
Brian would know
Yeah,
exactly.
that looks like
We've been mixing this stuff in with that.
looks like hickory,
Yeah.
hardwood. That looks like pine.
Yeah, that stuff's still green, so it doesn't even burning. We haven't used any of that. We see all the pitch on the ends of all those.
All right, here's maple syrup harvesting in action. Picture perfect Vermont
Yeah.
right here. Is this a new batch?
He's like, I need
Yeah,
to
we
get
started
shit
this
done.
new
I go, I hope you're doing it
like
outside,
an
'cause it's really nice out.
hour and a half ago. We did something we had never done before though.
What?
This thing is
Yeah.
leaking like crazy too, by the way. It's the last year. Seams are starting to burst. So what we did is this morning we just finished what we had left.
Yeah, because Brandon
And
wanted, she promised to make
we
me come
opened
up,
this valve, we
go
filled the
skiing,
bucket up as we
or
dumped
snowboarding
like
with-
fresh
I think
sap
it was
in
her
and filled
I
it,
think
and
it's
it
her last
just
weekend.
actually pushed it all the way down and
Bunch
out
of it.
until we got like
Because I
more
just hung
clear
out with
stuff,
her
and
a
we
lot.
stopped
She
it,
did some
filled
work.
it back up.
And
We'd never done that. Usually we take it off and drain it out,
getting almost the whole thing popped.
but we didn't want to
I'm thinking
ruin
they're
any of
using
the
her leftovers.
sugar seals that we have. Yeah, we didn't want to take it off this because like in the corners and
like-
stuff, it's all like kind of
Okay,
sealed up
so
with
this
this
soup, which
sugar.
we didn't realize because we never looked at that.
Because we take it from here and we bring it inside and we boil it down even more because
We
it
got our
just
sandwiches.
we
and,
can't get
like,
it down
something else
far
that-
enough.
Oh, they had nachos. She and another friend.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is dark though.
Yeah.
I went to bed at like.
I was
I
up.
probably went to bed at the same time, but I was in bed for like 2 hours.
Yeah, but I was also up. Saturday morning I was up at 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
I
I
didn't
went
go
to
to
bed
bed
2
till
hours before you. But then I slept in. I have
Yeah, that's Liz. Art.
Sure.
Asher. Asher Jackson. My sap boy. Stopper.
Yep, getting the job
So
done.
Liz and I are from Saxon River. Liz and I used to work together at a school in Putney.
Yep.
We remained friendly. She's allowed me to travel Ecuador.
Travel together to
Ecuador.
Ecuador.
Travel buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, travel buddy. That's why taught me to go to Peru. But this pan is 30 years old, and every year I get it repaired. And this time, I use the guy George down at Benny's. He says, "This is it." And sure enough, look, it's dark. The seams are starting to leak. I put some duct tape on
Oh,
and
no, that's
it
sugar.
melted, and it stopped it for a while.
And it's
Self-sealing, huh?
Yeah,
He needs the bucket.
thankfully, because yeah, we had a
Yeah, it's got a slight.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Yes, this is an educational party, yes, yes. There'll be a test after.
That's right.
And this year we found that when it starts boiling, it really starts to foam up. You just put a little, like, teeny little bit of butter on it.
Baby, you want to go back up?
It's awesome. That's what, like, the big guys did. And we always heard about it. We just never had done it.
Butter or some kind of fat?
Yeah, some kind of, like, just a little bit of oil or something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering what the oily stuff on the surface
Yeah, it's
was.
just butter.
Yeah.
That helps keep the froth out.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just, we haven't even used this today at all. To get the skim the scum.
You still get the bugs, right? Or they're just not out yet? I think jeez. Can't stay in front of that too long.
No, it's the thing is, like, you
I felt
don't
like
notice
my
it
rubber
until
was
your
burning.
pant. You don't hear it, you feel it until your
Yeah.
pant hits your...
Touching your skin. It
Wow,
just happened to me.
that's hot.
Yeah.
Holy
Nancy and I were
mackerel.
just saying how jeans really seem
We're going to get more sap.
All right.
Some there.
I'll get some close-up action.
Brian collected a lot this morning. So there's a little bit left. We collected a lot this morning, but we want you to experience every bit of this. Here you go.
I'll carry it empty. I'm not going to carry it full.
Okay.
You guys didn't run out of wood like we did.
No, but you know why? Because this year we ordered one more cord.
I ordered one less than Andy told me that he needed, and that was a mistake.
So how many did you go through?
4.
So Mitch, who lives in town as well, is a woodworker and has a wood shop, and he supplies us with most of the kindling and little wood that we use for boiling our sap. Oh, yeah. So
Was it enough this year?
We just ran out.
Stop that, Mitch.
I brought a little bit more over.
That's where we left off. Never mind, Talk about it.
Whoa, Ash, this one's pretty full. You can deal with it.
Yeah.
Let me know if you need help.
So these just flip up. This
Okay.
one's not. I don't know if we emptied it. Some give a lot, some give a little.
Here, why don't you get this?
Some start early, some end late.
You can get this one.
It's running now.
Right. And these taps don't stay in all year.
No, we're taking out.
And then do you plug them?
Nope. The tree heals over. It takes a year or two, but after the summer goes, the sap will stop running.
Okay.
And after the leaves come out, the sap stops running when they start to bud out. And so they'll, I'm looking for an old one here. See? Okay. An old one's dry. Eventually heals over. How you guys doing? You need another bucket?
There's another bucket, another
All right.
over here. I think that's probably good for you, Ash, huh?
Getting a food shot.
Chicken soup.
Nobody gets that way.
This is critical. The straining.
Rockingham? Oh, Rockingham. I thought you said up the road. I was like, no. No, you live up the road. Did you want to get over there? Yeah.
Are you sponsored by Adidas?
These are Adidas.
These are the Adidas shirts that won't give up. They're totally 20 years old. They're made out of magical synthetic materials that
Killed
Won't die.
children in like
Sure. I don't know where I got this camouflage helmet from, because now that it's fashionable, I feel ridiculous.
You got to bring that to school when you sub. You'd really fit in.
Easier to chainsaw than to carry the wood, right? So like,
We went to our friend's that cafe that I showed you. We went there.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, it's very well. You can tell.
Have you met him? Bob. This way. I told them anywhere between 1 and 8 o'clock.
Oh. Because you just have to sit there and watch it boil.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like watching paint dry. Very painful. No,
Corn
no.
grow, we say in Iowa.
Yeah, corn grow. Yeah.
Smells good.
It smells good though.
Corn growing, though, the first part's it smells pretty shitty probably. But
And so obviously you never tapped any of the trees on your property.
I can't believe so much shit. We got a lot
I need to give myself some
my feet are
same ones you got.
a little warm.
Yeah, it's the same brand.
Yeah.
Here's your fire.
Yeah. These are
They're nice boots. I enjoy them.
the chore edition.
They work great.
Oh yeah, they always.
Yeah.
I was very happy with this. I had a pair that got in Boston last year.
Yeah.
Maybe I can get some branding on my YouTube. Get some brand money.
Like branding, like.
Yeah, you get sponsored by you put your brand in
Oh,
your
I
video.
thought you were talking about like heating up an iron and branding somebody.
Well, that's how they do it in Vermont.
If you want a brand, it's going to be on your. It's going to be scarred.
I saw some pictures of that.
That's why I don't bother.
I do like
You must
to.
stay saying so.
Yeah, I do like
Now
to
we're
have
done with it.
some, like if I just go outside and snack some tomatoes or snack some lettuce. I do like that.
Did he?
Hey, let's see your maple sap tattoo.
GoPro?
That's dedication right there.
Yeah.
How much have you made?
I think all season we.
Sunburned.
I know.
Holy jeez.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, it's even. When I start driving a truck this summer, it's
Yeah.
only one arm.
Right.
We've made, I think, only a couple gallons. But just this weekend, we'll make probably another 2 or 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Good. Is it running really good?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll be on.
I think we know.
Eating these vitamin D, vitamin C.
Yeah, no joke, huh?
Hi. How are you? Good.
That's what happened to
There's a little bit of a theme.
Because it's habitual.
Yeah.
Look at Mitch. Hey, go show the seedy side of the whole operation. All right, see you, mister.
Be posted on that.
Okay, so we're inside now. This is the batch that was boiling outside yesterday. And how long would you say this has been on the stove, reducing?
It's probably been on the stove for a couple hours.
Yeah.
Yep, a couple hours. And what we did is we brought it to a certain point outside on the arch and in the pan. And what we like to do is bring it inside and finish it on the stove because we have more control over it, and we can go right from this pot to the filtering to the bottling in a couple easy steps.
How long was it outside the other day boiling?
So this amount of sap, which it looks to me like it's a little over a gallon maybe, would have probably been on the arch and in the pan for probably 8 hours.
So this process can be done all in one day?
Yes.
Or does it usually take 2?
It can be done in one day.
Okay.
It's a long day.
One long day, one work day. But sometimes we'll stretch it into 2 just because.
Drink too many beers?
Yeah. Exactly. It's time to go to bed, things like that.
Get distracted.
We'll start it the next morning. I'm sure the professionals and the people that really believe that everything has to be done very quickly would shudder at the fact that sometimes we leave it for 24 hours before we finish the process. I think the whole thing is to really finish it zip, zip, zip all in one day. So
how do you know when it's done?
So
do you taste it, or do you just do it by color?
We do it a couple different ways. So there is a tool. What's it called? It's like a sugar
Hydrometer.
like a hydrometer, a sugar mometer. You know, that you can actually put in here that people use that will show you the sugar content. We don't use one
It'll
of
sort of
those.
float to the top, I think, when it's viscous
Yeah.
enough to.
So what we
So
do
it measures the density.
Right.
Okay.
So what we do is what the old timers say to do, and that is when you pour it, if it starts sheeting, kind of flattens out and has like a wide pour to it. I'll do it one more time. It shows that there's some thickness to it. The other thing we do is we'll take this off a little bit, let it cool, and we'll put our finger to it, get a sense of how thick it is, or taste it. Sometimes just a matter of tasting it.
Yeah.
And sometimes we'll do it a little thin, sometimes we'll do it a little thicker. There's no exact science to it for us.
So when it starts bubbling heavily on the top, as it did
Right.
a couple of minutes ago, then you kind of know it's ready then.
So this, and is this on full? Yeah. Well, it's
It's
on
on
low
low.
now.
Yeah.
But what happens quite often, it'll foam.
Yeah. It'll probably foam if I turn it up right now. You can kind of see it getting.
So the froth gives an indication of how
Yes.
dense it is.
Yep. And that it's ready to go, because what it'll do is if you leave it unattended, it'll start boiling, frothing, and boil over,
Yeah.
which is not pleasant. 'Cause this stuff to clean up is pretty tough.
We've had that happen on more than one occasion.
But touching that now, it's got a real thickness to it, and it's got an extremely sweet taste. So a lot of it's to your own taste.
Okay.
Well, you know, how do you want it to taste? How thick do you want it to be?
This stuff definitely looks dark.
Yes, this is the 4th or 5th run of the season, maybe the 5th.
And it gets darker as you mature in the season.
Exactly.
Huh.
Yeah.
So the first run is very light, and the last run is usually very dark. And I think it has something to do with the sap itself, in terms of moving up and down the tree and getting close to finishing for the season. We have some trees that are budding out right now, and those trees are not giving sap anymore. They've done their job. They've gone to the buds,
Yeah, we just noticed that this morning.
and some of them are still running. They're not ready to bud out yet. It's really thick and really sweet, so we would say this is done. And as
Okay.
you can see, it's starting to bubble.
Let's
Okay.
let's show the next step here then.
All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pour it into these filters, and there's 2 filters. One is felt, very thick wool felt,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's a thinner one. So the thin
is
one
cloth.
is cloth.
Cotton, I believe.
It'll capture a lot of the byproducts of the boiling. There's a byproduct called niter, which is almost a thick, dark residue. And then the next filter, the felt filter, will take out any of the last impurities that remain. And I'm just going to...
That's probably good.
Okay. So when you're doing it by hand, this is a slow process. The big guys have
You
automatic
can kind of
bottling
see it.
and
Filtering through. Just transfer this, like the bottle this when it's hot. That's the other key, is bottling when it's hot.
We'll get bacteria right away.
well, you know, that's a good question. I think that's part of it. Yeah. Plus, when you get it into the bottle when it's hot and you seal it,
Yeah.
it seals. I don't know if it vacuum seals, but it seals.
Yes.
And I think one time you had a little batch where it didn't actually seal. It might not have sealed right away. Remember, it had a little gunk on the top, which happens. It doesn't make it bad. It just shows where that. One of our helpers.
visitors,
One of our helpers
yes.
done the sugaring process. As you probably know, people choose to use plastic bottles, cans. I don't see a lot of cans anymore, but that's what
I
we
think
used to
they
use.
still sell the
can.
cans, but
And we've used plastic, and lately we've gone to bottles. It's kind of fun. You can see them. You can see the color, and you can use it afterwards for something else.
So I'm going to get a bottle this year?
yep.
Yes, you
Oh,
are.
that's excellent.
Yeah, we're not doing any plastic this year at all. This looks like it's finally.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, I don't think you could do this step drunk.
No. No. Steady hands.
When you think about the beginning of the tapping and then getting to this point, it's a pretty long process.
Have you ever kept track of the labor hours per gallon?
No, I don't think we would have continued doing it if we had.
Every year we say, this is it, no more.
Have you ever sold any?
No.
No. We don't.
So all this
Give it
product
away.
gets given away.
Yeah.
Given away, or we use
Yeah,
a little bit
usually
of it ourselves,
tip
but we
it
give
to-
most of it away.
Tip it to seal it, and ta-da!
That's it.
Our beautiful little. Getting
It's,
definitely darker than
And as you know,
When we
most
started out.
most of it has been made with much of your scrap wood.
Mm-hmm.
Today, we use the last of it.
That's a good deal.
Let's see if this is darker than this is another run here. Yeah. So you can see beginning of the season as it moves on.
Mm.
Oh, that's interesting. So the fancy grade comes out first.
Fancy, and then there's probably a what I would call a light amber or a medium amber, then a dark amber, and this is probably the last, which there's a new name for it. It's called B. It used to be called B, now it's called robust or dark and hardy or something.
It's definitely got more flavor, more maple flavor. I prefer the darker.
So we do two is, yep, and halfway through the process, wash
This is
this
all
out.
has to be washed out because it's pretty funky in there. Kind of
Yeah.
not something you want on your French toast. This is what got filtered out. It's still hot. I'm kind of burning my hands, but
Oh.
this is what we don't want in our beautiful syrup. This is all the minerals and the byproducts. Maple gunk. Goodbye.
Maybe we could fill some potholes with that.
I think this time of the year that would be a brilliant idea.
So what has the total yield been so far
Um,
for this season?
I've been keeping track up till. Is this all the new stuff right here? No, I just
Yes.
mixed it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And,
And Brian took some.
Brian took a bunch. There's some in that box over there.
And we've already given some away.
So we probably did 2 gallons up till last week, and then all of a sudden the sap went crazy, and now we'll probably end up with 4 gallons, which is about our average.
It is about our average. I think 2 years ago we had 6.
Yeah.
All right, well, that wraps up my video. And thank you so much.
You're
Oh, right.
You gonna grab some syrup on the way out? Or
Oh,
what?
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't leave. I gotta get my bounty for my kindling wood.
Absolutely.
Right.